Good morning. It's Sunday morning on the 21st of May, and it's been about a week and a half since I last posted, but I just wanted to talk about a few things about me, just me. I don't know how it is with other widows or widowers. I'm learning how to, and it will be 4 years this year on September 22nd that I will be a widow. And like I've said before, I think in my previous videos, and I've made some financial mistakes, of course, and now I'm really trying to watch my budget, trying to pay my credit cards off, which I don't have that many. I only have two, one I use for gas and one I use for extra. And so I want to get those paid off. But my goal is to really be out of debt. And that's what I'm working towards. Can a single person be out of debt? I think they can. And that's my goal. That's what I'm working towards. And I'm also praying about it, really seeking the Lord about it. And I feel really inadequate when it comes to financial things. For one thing, I probably have a little bit of undiagnosed dyslexia, because I can look at a number and it'll read to me 79, but it's really 97. And I just have an issue with numbers. And I got so frustrated at work on Friday because I made a mistake, and I had already sent it out to everybody. I send out what we call certified payrolls, and you have to send that for government accounting to make sure we're doing everything right on our end in the business that I work at. And I felt so stupid. I felt this small because I made a mistake with numbers, and I texted my daughter and I said, "Numbers are my nemesis." She said, "I know, Mama." And they really are. Sometimes it just gets the better of me. And before I met Dennis, I had more bounce checks than a bouncy house had kids bouncing in it. Because it doesn't compute, or it didn't at the time. I've gotten better over the years. I got even better when Dennis, my husband who passed, forced me to take over the business checkbook of all things, and then the personal checkbook of all things. He said, "Well, I guess we won't get bills paid if you don't take care of it." And that was super scary to me, super scary. But, with patience with myself, relearning what I learned in business class in high school, because business class in high school taught me how to balance a checkbook, even though I didn't quite understand it. But then watching Dennis over the years really helped me. And I appreciate him being patient with me and me being patient with myself. And now I'm at a point in my life that I need to be patient with myself again, because I'm really working towards a goal, and I want to accomplish that goal. There's certain things I want to do. Like this morning, I get up real early because my dog, Oasis, needed to go outside. So I was scrolling around on Facebook and everything, and I saw Kohl's. I said, "Well, how much do I have on Kohl's?" And I looked, and because I just made a payment. And they had a certain item that I wanted on sale, and I put it I picked the thing that I wanted, and then I went to Belk to see if that was any cheaper. And at first it didn't show up cheaper, but then they had, if you press the button, you get a sale on it. But then you had to have a certain amount to get free shipping. And I thought there for a minute, and I stopped myself. I said, "No, I really don't need this item, because if you knew what it was, and if you really knew me, I have plenty of it. It's just a want and not a need." So I stopped myself this morning, and I consider that an accomplishment, because sometimes your want you don't need, And then when you come to need something because you spent on your want, you can't get what you need. So I don't want to do that. I had a moment that I realized that I was getting something I wanted that I didn't need. So I stopped myself. Go. So in this time, and I don't know, I'm sure there are many other widows that are much smarter with me. I know one in particular who is my very dear friend, and she is spectacular with her money and her finances. She could probably teach me a thing or two, and I should go to her and ask her about it, but I haven't wanted to because I want to try to accomplish this myself. Maybe one day I will. But right now, I want to try to do this on my own and try to really meditate on it with the Lord. And I pray about everything. In fact, I was praying about something this morning, something I have an issue with, and I asked somebody else to help me pray about it. And she said she would. And I appreciated that because, you know, like I've said in my previous videos, we are not alone. We are not alone. If you need something, you need to ask. And on that financial part, I probably should ask. And I do have a budget book, but I'm not quite exactly sure how to use it. And I don't feel adequate enough. That's where I feel inadequate in my finances. And I feel like I'm not good enough to do it. But I know that I am, because God wouldn't have led me down this path if he didn't think I could do it in all aspects. I mean, for one, being by myself, two, carrying on my lifestyle, you know, working, being a mother, being a grandmother, well, actually being a mother-in-law first and then a grandmother, if he didn't think I could do it. And I'm so thankful that he has led me this far. And even though sometimes I feel inadequate, I know that, and I make mistakes, I stumble. You know, when I was a little kid, I used to stumble and fall and get these old scraped up knees and shins when I was riding the bicycle, and they would scab over and I'd pick them and then everything, and then eventually they would heal. So that's I feel like I'm a little girl again, stumbling, scraping my knees and falling and relearning and learning things over again. I'm 55. I'll be 56 on my birthday. It's nothing wrong with learning something new. You know, I often thought about it and going back to school, learning some more admin stuff. I would love to do that. But right now, I would love to get an admin assistant degree, but it's not in the cards. And you know, maybe eventually one day I could do that. Just say, hey, I got a 2-year degree, because, you know, I went to college, but I didn't really have any good direction. And I should have went for admin assistant and gotten a 2-year degree, because that's what I do now. And I loved it. I took all admin classes in school, high school, and I loved it. I loved my teacher in high school. She was stern. I remember her. She could be, but I followed the rules, so she wasn't really stern with me. I took phone etiquette courses with her. I took all this kind of stuff, and I enjoyed it so much. I don't know why I didn't have that direction, or I didn't know why I didn't listen. But once again, now that I'm 55, I can look back and say, hey, I should have done something different. But that's okay. Now I just want to go on and learn. I want to constantly learn now. And so even though I do have issue with numbers and finances, I'm getting there. I may stumble, and there's more times not now that I don't stumble. I don't stumble as much as I used to, but sometimes I do, and I feel so inadequate. And then I don't have a buffer to talk to. I talk to my daughter. I talk to her every day, multiple times a day, but it's different. She has a buffer to talk to. She has her husband to talk to, and that's her buffer. That's one of the things I miss is being a widow, not having a buffer anymore. But anyways, love y'all. And if you see this video, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe. And I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.